This is Calvin. He tunes cars. But you see, Calvin isn't just a car tuner. He has a way of giving cars character, their very own heartbeat. He turns controlled into chaos. Needless to say, I was really excited to get the car back, so we needed an open road. The urban poet says that alone, it's a bad idea, but together, it's an adventure. So, over the span of 900 kilometers, I truly wanted to see these 4 things. The first was performance. I really wanted to see how fast I could quickly regret my decisions. The second was fuel consumption, because petrol at this point is basically a luxury item. The third was the car's overall practicability and if we'd make it back in one piece. And the fourth was just the total distance all the way to Kruger and back if we make it. But anyway, let's get in to see what Calvin has truly done to this thing. Aha! Soon we arrived at the filling station. We arrived at the filling station for fuel. But somehow, the real priority was Amakwinya. The tank was quite full, but we needed to fully sort out the stomach. So, we went for South Africans' very own number 1. With my stomach full, I had the courage to go and face the damage outside. And safe to say, No. At this point, owning a full tank is a luxury lifestyle. Cause Joe. With the filling station in the rear view mirror, we pushed it to the back of our heads. Like that one decision you made at 2 a.m. and promised to never speak about again. Full tank, 510 kilometers of range. The road opened up and the car settled in. And suddenly, it felt like the road trip had begun. Windows down, music up, and Kruger waiting. So, we sent it. And 30 kilometers later, we reached South Africa's most expensive toll gate, Machadodorp. And honestly, the minute we drove through, I started to understand why. On the other side, it felt like the road changed completely. Suddenly, it wasn't just highway anymore. It was the gateway to some of the most beautiful roads I've ever driven. Long bends, open views, mountain air. These are the kind of roads that make you forget your fuel bill. At that point, It even seemed like the car was happier. It's as if Calvin had tuned it for this specific moment. The confidence was high, the turbo was happy, I went for an overtake. To the brother who was driving a BMW in front of me, no, I salute. You understood the assignment. Clean pull, smooth power, and for a moment, life was perfect. From full boost to full disappointment. Nothing kills the fun faster than finally enjoying the road and being introduced to a man holding a sign saying, stop. I mean, 1 minute you're a race car driver, and the next, you're parked, questioning every life choice that has brought you here. Some roads test your patience, and others reward it. Skumanskloof in Mpumalanga has a way of doing both. This specific stop and go stretches for about 4 kilometers. And honestly, this wasn't a road trip anymore. It felt like a stop and go simulator. Soon, the road opened up. And this is where the stop and go ended. And as you can see, there were many, many cars in the line. And right after the stop and go chaos, the views opened up. And it almost made you forgive it. For a moment, even the traffic felt worth it. Hi guys, Mpumalanga is beautiful. We reached Nelspruit, except Nelspruit had other plans. There was a full-on strike, traffic backed up, and people were everywhere. And suddenly, the road trip turned into a live action survival challenge. So we had to get out of there. As we were leaving Nelspruit, we checked the fuel consumption. And yeah, it was definitely drinking. But to be fair, the car was tuned. And we weren't exactly driving like responsible adults. There had been a lot of spirited driving. A few pulls here, a few just testing something here. So honestly, I wasn't even that disappointed. For the way it was performing, the smiles per kilometers it was giving me, I'd say it was worth every drop. We finally reached Malelane, and after the toll gates, roadworks, stop and go traffic, and enough pulls to make a fuel gauge nervous, seeing that station felt like release. And of course, I found these Mexican chips there too. Perfect timing, because we're playing Mexico in the World Cup opener. So naturally, we're already chowing the competition. There was something peaceful about being out of the city. Being where everything just felt calm, which only meant one thing. I had to test the 0 to 100. Cut! Hey, Pella, nothing ends a perfect pull faster than seeing blue lights and suddenly remembering your manners. The road was finally open. Well, so I thought. Before this road trip, I thought the real test was speed. Turns out, it was my patience. Because every 5 minutes, roadworks. You accelerate, you finally enjoying life, then boom, stop and go. At this point, I wasn't even driving anymore. I was just participating. You go from 120 to 0 to 20 to 0 again. The car's ready to perform. I'm ready to perform. The turbo's ready to perform. But the road said not today. At this point, I only had one thing in mind. The Kruger National Park. We were close. The excitement was real. The bush was near. And the best part of the trip was finally here. But South Africa, we're a humbling nation, Shem. So naturally, blue lights. After successfully reminding the law enforcement that, in fact, I am a very responsible citizen, we carried on. The excitement was real. The roads changed. And we entered Komatipoort. At this point, you just know the Kruger is no longer a plan. It was happening, and it truly did not disappoint. We had made it to Crocodile Bridge and the Kruger. I was so excited. We wanted to enter the Kruger National Park, but along the way work came calling. So we decided to head back.
See some water.
Because sometimes the trip changes, but the story still gets better. So we grabbed some snacks and took in the moment and decided to head back.
We found a cafe. Co-pilot and we found someone, a cafe, someone, something. Hey, this English is running away, guys. There is a Pumbaa coming our way. Hey.
It's Pumbaa and his kid.
Bab. So Kichumala. Even the other guy's running away. Look. Sorry. Bye, Kichuma. This is a boat that shows where all the animals were. The sightings. That was yesterday. This was today. Yeah, somewhere around here. There were lions. This is the shop. Wow. It's a nice shop. Nothing beats a squeeze me. Usually, I'll take a Magnum over everything when it comes to ice cream. But on today's occasion, I found they have squeeze me. And there's no way I'm passing this up. So officially, guys, actually, on this side,
that's where the lions
we're actually in the Kruger. So we actually didn't come for nothing. We genuinely did make it. We heard a and that lady and what that lady told us there, it could happen that those could be lions. So we made an executive decision, and we're on our way out. Honestly, yeah, no.
Amazing.
Heading back up.
Amazing.
I think we prefer our time back in the car, man. But yeah.
At this point, our plans had changed. Kruger had to wait. And honestly, our hearts were a little disappointed. But then, that ice cream. Nothing heals a disappointed heart faster than standing in the parking lot, holding ice cream, and pretending that that was the plan all along. Suddenly, life made sense again. Kruger may have said no, but dessert was a definite yes. Sometimes destinations do change, but we still had to make this trip memorable. They say life is about the journey, but if your life consists of stop and goes at the moment, my sister or my dear brother, I understand your frustration, but it does open up. On our way back, we stopped at the garage to just check if everything was still intact, and there's something that caught my attention. Yes, some chips and bread. This is enough stuff to make a grown man cry. As we're heading back, the roads quietened a bit, and it really got me thinking. This trip was supposed to be about getting to the Kruger National Park, but somewhere along the way, it became about the car, about how it felt, the response, the sound, the way it pulled, and how every drive suddenly felt alive. Calvin didn't just tune it, he changed the entire experience. The same roads felt different. Every corner felt sharper. Every overtake felt smoother. Every pull reminded me of why we did it. It wasn't just faster, it had its own character. It felt like the car had finally become what it was always meant to be. Even with the roadworks, the stop and go, the blue lights, and all the delays, every time I got back behind the wheel, I remembered exactly why I loved it. We didn't make it into the Kruger this time, but honestly, the drive itself became the destination. Because sometimes it's not about where the road takes you, it's about how the car makes you feel getting there. And this time, really felt alive, and I was not disappointed. And where else will you spend time with the people you love like this?
Stay away,